Hey everyone, and welcome. Today, we are going to tackle a topic that's not just huge for your pharmacy exams, but it's literally the foundation of your entire career. We're talking about the schedules of the Drugs and Cosmetics Act of 1940. Let's get this mastered.
So if you're a B-Pharm student or you're gearing up for a big competitive exam like the RRB Pharmacist, you already know that knowing these schedules is, well, it's not optional. It can feel like a lot to remember. I get it, but don't sweat it. We're going to break it all down together, make it simple, and make it stick.
25. That's the magic number. These 25 schedules are what govern the entire Indian pharmaceutical industry. I mean everything, from how a drug is made in a factory to how it's sold in a pharmacy. So let's jump in and make some sense of it all.
All right, first things first. We have to start with the administrative framework. Think of this as the basic paperwork, the rules of the road that keep the whole system organized and running. Before we even get to the drugs themselves, we have to understand this part.
Okay, so this slide lays out the real groundwork. Schedule A, that's all about your applications and forms. Pretty much any official process starts here. Then you have Schedule B, which deals with the fees for lab testing and analysis, super important for quality control. And then you have D and K, which are kind of two sides of the same coin. They list out the drugs that are exempt from certain rules and the conditions for those exemptions. So yeah, this is the essential paperwork part of the Act.
Now that we've got the administrative stuff down, we can get into the real heart of it, the schedules that deal with specific types of drugs. This is where you'll find a lot of high-yield topics for your exams, so definitely pay close attention here.
This slide is absolutely packed with critical info. You've got Schedule C and C1. These cover biologicals, things like vaccines, serums, stuff that needs special care. But then, notice how the level of control goes up. Schedule G is for drugs that have to be taken under medical supervision. Then you step up to Schedule H, which are your standard prescription-only drugs. And at the very top you have Schedule X, the most tightly controlled substances like narcotics. It's like a ladder of increasing regulation.
So let's talk about Schedule H, because this is a cornerstone of our profession. The rule is simple, but so important. These drugs can only be sold by a pharmacist when they get a valid prescription from a registered medical practitioner. That's it. This single rule is a massive pillar of patient safety.
And then you have Schedule X, which takes that control to a whole other level. We're talking about narcotic and psychotropic drugs with a high potential for abuse. To even sell these, a pharmacy needs a special license, and they have to keep incredibly detailed records. We're talking about accounting for every single pill.
The Act isn't just about controlling drugs. It's also about protecting people from misinformation. That's where Schedule J comes in. It lists diseases that a drug is prohibited from claiming to cure. This stops false advertising and gives patients real, honest information. At the same time, you have Schedule E1, which shows the Act's respect for traditional medicine by listing poisonous substances in Ayurveda or Unani systems to make sure they're used safely.
Okay, let's pivot a little. Now we're going to look at the schedules that are all about quality. From the manufacturing plant to the lab, these are the good practices schedules. And let me tell you, for your exams, this section is absolutely vital. You've got to know this.
The easiest way to remember these is as the trio of quality. Schedule L1 sets the standards for good laboratory practice, making sure test results are accurate and reliable. Schedule M is the big one. It's the whole rulebook for good manufacturing practices in modern pharma. And Schedule T is its counterpart, providing the GMP guidelines for traditional medicines like Ayurveda and Siddha.
And if you dig into Schedule M, you see just how incredibly detailed it is. It's not just one broad rule. It's broken down into specific parts for sterile products, for tablets and capsules, for syrups, even for the raw active ingredients. And it doesn't stop there. It has separate sections, M2 and M3, for making cosmetics and medical devices. Quality standards for everything.
So, a drug is manufactured according to good manufacturing practices. What happens next? The journey isn't over. These next schedules cover what happens after the factory, how things are labeled, stored, and managed in the pharmacy itself.
This group is all about the details that ensure safety right up until a medicine reaches a patient. Schedule N is so practical. It lists the minimum equipment a pharmacy must have. Schedules P and P1 are critical. They control the shelf life or expiry date and the standard pack sizes of drugs. Then you have Q, which regulates colors used in cosmetics, and U, which forces manufacturers to keep meticulous records, which is a lifesaver during a drug recall.
And this is such an important point to remember. Schedule P isn't just some technical rule about putting a date on a box. It's a patient's first line of defense. Every single time a pharmacist checks an expiry date, they are personally enforcing Schedule P and protecting that patient from harm. It's a huge responsibility.
And this slide really rounds out just how wide-ranging the Act is. It sets specific quality standards for, well, just about everything. You've got surgical dressings in Schedule FI2, eye drops in Schedule FF, disinfectants in Schedule O, contraceptives in R, cosmetics in S. It's this huge, comprehensive safety net ensuring quality across so many different products.
Okay, finally, let's talk about innovation. I mean, how do new, potentially life-saving drugs actually get to patients in India? That whole process is managed by one very important schedule.
This slide basically shows the tough journey that every new drug has to take, and it's all laid out in Schedule Y. Think of Schedule Y as the ultimate gatekeeper. Before any new medicine can hit the market, it has to go through this whole rigorous clinical trial process to prove, without a doubt, that it's safe and that it actually works for the people here.
So wow, we have gone on a whirlwind tour from A to Y. After all of that, what's the big takeaway? As a future pharmacist, what's the one thing you really need to remember about all this?
It really boils down to this. Learning these schedules isn't about memorizing a bunch of letters for an exam. It's about understanding the very system that keeps millions of people safe every single day. It's about understanding your role in that system and the trust that patients place in you.
So I'll leave you with a question to think about. After everything we've covered, which one schedule do you think is the most crucial for keeping patients safe? Is it H with its prescription controls, or M with its manufacturing standards? Give that some thought as you keep studying. Thanks so much for watching, and seriously, best of luck with your exams.